Okay, so we have a table, and our next step then is to start inserting data into the table. In a real application, this would probably be done by an ORM, our object relational mapping, to do this insert for us. But some people prefer to write the SQL manually, and that's totally fine as well. But even if we do use an ORM, there's still a value in understanding how this insert will actually look under the hood, because you may need to optimize it, and sometimes you actually need to get your hands dirty, get into the database, and insert data manually. If there's a missing record or something like that, you may need to actually manually insert it. So in this exercise, we're going to write a few basic inserts to push some data into our table. Now, don't forget to load your tests for the exercise and then to execute those tests to make sure you get some failures. I've already done that, and you can see that I did in fact get some failures. So clearly something's not working, which again is where we need to be because we haven't actually implemented the exercise yet. Okay, so let's jump over to our code window, and we want to open the insert.sql, which is currently empty. And then we're going to write some insert statements. Now we have a series of pieces of data that we need to insert. So let's go ahead and write a basic statement. So we're going to insert into, and we're going to be specific here again, mover vehicles dot vehicles. And again, this is optional. So if you wanted to just say vehicles and just make sure you're executing it in the correct context, that's totally fine. You could do that. Now I need an ID, and then I need a vehicle type. I need a purchase date, the serial number, the make, model, year, color, and description. So that's basically all of the fields. And then the next thing that I need is I need a set of values to actually insert into those fields. So let's go ahead and create those. Now these are provided for you, so I'm just going to copy and paste them. So for an ID, we'll just copy and paste. There's an actual UUID provided in this case, and we'll paste that. And then for the vehicle type, I'll just type this. It's pretty quick. And then the purchase date is going to be something like 2022-03-07. And then we have a serial number. Again, this is relatively complicated, so I'll just copy that over. And then we have a make, which is Spitfire, a model, and in this case, the model is Inferno. I kind of like the name of that scooter. It sounds kind of neat. And then we need a year, so that's going to be 2021. The color is going to be red. And then we have a description. Whoops, missing some commas there. Let me just get those in. We have a description, which is going to be scratch on the left side. Okay, so theoretically, that should give us what we need to insert the first vehicle. Let's just go ahead and save that. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste it because I need a second vehicle. And with this second vehicle, it's going to be a little bit different because we don't actually have all of the same data. So we're going to keep the ID, we're going to keep vehicle type. We don't have a purchase date. We're going to use the default there. So we'll have serial number, make, model, year, and color. And then we're not going to have a description, so we'll get rid of that. Now, again, we need to copy and paste some data here. So the data that we're going to copy and paste, we are going to just grab the ID, and we'll get rid of the ID that was here. Now this isn't a scooter, this is actually going to be a skateboard. And then we don't have the date here, so we're going to get rid of that. We have a serial number, so we're going to copy that and paste it. And then this will be this will be a street slider. And it's a motherboard. That's also kind of a cool name. And this will be a 2020. And then the color will be slate gray. And then we don't have any descriptive text, so we'll get rid of that. So that gives us two basic insert statements. Now we can actually theoretically try and execute the tests to see what actually happens. So let's actually, for fun, go ahead and see. So first I'm going to save the file. Then I'm going to just jump over to, sorry, not there. I'm going to jump over to my terminal and I'm going to rerun my tests. This will just take a moment. Okay, so you can see should insert the first record with some predefined values. That worked. Should insert the second record. That also worked. And then should insert 5 records. Well, I've only inserted 2. So that clearly hasn't worked, and we did get a failure. So I've still got some work to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this off. So we're allowed to create 3 more records for a total of 5. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not going to make you watch me type all of that. I'm just going to copy and paste some answers in there. And that'll give us what we need. So let's go ahead and save that, and we'll jump back over to the terminal, and we will run our tests. Okay, so this will just take a moment, and you can see that all of our tests are passing. So it looks like we are good. Now we just need to go ahead and execute that code. So let's go ahead and execute this now. So we're going to just copy and paste our commands again, just like we did before. We'll jump over to our CockroachDB terminal, and we're just going to paste those in. This will just take a moment while it executes each one. If we did this as a batch, it would probably be faster. I haven't executed it as a batch, but you may have. Okay, it looks like it's all succeeded and everything passed. It looks like everything worked. I don't really have too many facilities right now to actually verify that it worked. I could use explain, and that will kind of show me a little bit of information, but I'll leave that to you if you want to test that. Next, what we're going to learn is actually how to look at the actual data in the database using a select statement, and that'll give us a little more information.